Hello, everyone. I'm Jackie Montero Sharp, and I'm the Director of Enrollment Management here at Fork Union Military Academy. We are bringing back our Connecting with the Cadet series for 2023. And for January, we are going to talk to Kendall Coard. Kendall, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Cadet Captain Kendall Coard. I've been here for 4 years, and so far I'm loving it.
So tell us, Cadet Coard, how you first heard about Fork Union Military Academy 5 years ago when you were probably an eighth grader looking at high schools.
So I went up to a high school fair in the city, and it stuck out to me because first off, it was a military school. I love the military. I plan on joining the military, and at the same time, it was also a one subject plan. So studying one subject at a time for 7 weeks straight is really what sold me on that.
And it's a boarding school. We obviously do have a few day students here, but is that something that you were looking for in particular, or it just kind of fell in your lap?
It kind of just fell in my lap. I have no problem with boarding. I don't get really homesick, but it was definitely something that helped shape me into who I am today, and I learned a lot of lessons.
Nice. Tell me a little bit more about the one subject plan. It's very different than how other schools teach their curriculum. And unfortunately, it might kind of confuse some folks. So, can you explain it for us?
So basically, the one subject plan, you start one class at a time, 7 weeks straight. Because it's so condensed, it is a lot faster paced, but at the same time, you have a lot of free time during the day to kind of just get your work done and focus on that. So you'll have math, any sort of math class, geometry, pre-algebra, anything like that for 7 weeks straight. Once that's over, you'll go into the next term, second term, and you can have a science, English, or another math. So it's just 7 weeks, one subject, and then you move on. Five
What
terms.
class are you taking right now?
I am currently in Spanish 3. It's not my strong suit, but once again, it only Spanish. I don't have to balance math or English or anything like that. So I'm learning a lot more than I normally would.
Nice. So you can really focus on it since it's not one of your stronger subjects, though I'm sure you're doing just fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Some folks would say perhaps having only one subject at a time in high school might not necessarily prepare you for college or university, where you might have maybe two to four classes a semester, right? What would you say to that? Because I know you in particular have many other responsibilities here on campus besides class.
So what I would say, there is downsides to the one subject plan. It doesn't completely prepare you for college, but at the same time, it balances out because you have to learn when you go here, you have to learn time management. And that will show in class, in any sort of leadership scenario, basically anywhere. So it is hard once you transition to college, but at the same time, as long as you learn and understand how to manage your time, then it should not be too much of a problem.
Nice. Can you tell us about the leadership positions that you do hold on campus?
Currently, I am a part of battalion staff. I am the S3, the operations officer. I work with a lot of faculty, a lot of the high ranking cadets, basically just planning special events. It would go from a Christmas dinner to a mixer off campus or on campus.
So, for people who don't know what like battalion staff means, what would you equate that to in maybe like a public high school or some other type of school?
I would say it's been a while since I've been in public school, but kind of like a student body, kind of similar like that. So we're like the higher members of the student body. I guess that's one way to put it.
So your battalion staff would be almost like your student government, would you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. And how did you become a member of battalion staff?
I surrounded myself with a lot of good people since my first year. So everyone who I surrounded myself with, at some point in time, whether they were 2 years above me, my same year as me, they all became leaders. So by surrounding myself with the right people, especially leadership, it helped me make connections and also learn and improve myself. And that's ended up becoming squad leader, platoon leader, and now battalion staff.
Did you have to be interviewed to be on battalion staff? And if so, who interviewed you?
So yes, you do have to be interviewed when you go for high-ranking billets like battalion staff. Some of the people who interviewed me, it is your peers, they're the current staff, and also the commandant's department. So Colonel Moss, Gunny, and a couple of the techs. So it is intense, but as long as you know what you're talking about, you know you're capable of doing that job. There's no pressure to it.
Nice. So tell me what makes a military school like a military school, or Fort Union in particular. What does it mean that we are a military school?
So main thing you'll hear all the time is just structure. And to do that, we have different things like wearing a uniform, shaving, getting a haircut, cleaning your room. It's all these little things that you need to be capable of doing. So once you leave this place, once you go on break, anything like that, you can transfer that into your current life. So when you're home, immediately you wake up, you start making your bed. Make sure you don't look like you just rolled out of bed when you're going out in public. You clean yourself up, things like that. Marching, being able to stand still, even though a lot of people don't like it or think it's pointless, it's teaching you patience because you never know how long you might be waiting somewhere or just standing there. So it's teaching you like, okay, I'll wait here, I'll wait, and then I know at some point I'll get to wherever I need to be.
Right. Tell me like about drill, because a lot of folks are like, well, what's the point of drill besides marching together as a corps of cadets? What are the other benefits of literally drill practice?
So a lot of people at this school, they don't go straight into the military where it would help to do drill now going into. But basically drill, it's once again just discipline. It's teaching you how to follow instructions, give instructions, and lead. If you expect to be like, uh, let's just say a CEO of some Fortune 5 company, Fortune 900 company, whatever. If you want to be a CEO, you have to be able to communicate with people. If you can't communicate with people during drill, how are you going to communicate with a whole company? You can't. So it's
Yeah,
just little leadership lessons that they teach you here.
absolutely. Excellent point. So you are a senior, correct?
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
really gonna miss you next year. Tell us about just your plans for the future.
So right now I've applied to a bunch of military colleges, Citadel, Naval Academy. Naval Academy is the big one. I'm just got to wait till April to hear back. But basically, I'm just looking to become a Marine infantry officer, see where it goes from there, and just make it a career out of it.
Do you think you came to Fort Union knowing that, or being at a military academy perhaps influenced you, or maybe a mixture of both?
It was a mixture of both. I knew I wanted to go to the military coming here, and that's mainly why I came here because I knew, hey, military school, let's do it. And I met a lot of people who have gone down similar paths or may be in another branch, but still understand how the process works. So I learned a lot from these people, made a lot of friends, and really gained a lot of mentors so I can follow someone and they can show me the right path of what I need to do and how to do it.
Right. And I would say, well, it's fact, most of the boys who graduate from FUMA don't join the military. Most of them, 90% of them pursue, going to a liberal 4 year college or university. So that definitely does make you stand out a little bit. Um, a few last questions. In my opinion, you're very popular on campus. You seem to have a great group of friends. Can you just tell me about the friends you've made here and, the connection you have with your other fellow cadets?
A lot of the friends I made here, some of them are either currently Serving, going to serve, or in college and going to commission as an officer after their 4 years. But at the same time, a lot of them, they're not interested in the military. But at the same time, these guys they're almost all of them are just leaders in one way, shape, or form. Even if they're not going to the military, they still take their job very seriously. So it's good to be surrounded by people who push you every day to be better, because then it makes you raise the bar for yourself and also others.
Nice. Okay, I always ask this question. What is your favorite dining hall meal? Could be anything, lunch, breakfast, or dinner.
Hmm, that's a good question.
I mean,
I
I know
know
you're probably very particular on this.
I am. I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for breakfast and just overall, my favorite food, just French toast. It's especially here, they like to make it big. It's just the bigger, the better, you know?
Wow, that's not what I would have guessed. But okay, French toast for breakfast. Do they have it often?
Not as often as they did, but
Okay.
when I get it, when it's there, I'm happy. That's all I care about.
Okay. Very nice. And lastly, what piece of advice would you give to either two types of boys, maybe boys considering coming to Fork Union and boys who have been accepted and are definitely coming in the fall? What would you, as someone who's been here for your whole secondary school career, just tell them?
I would say just no matter what, give it your all, 110% every day. And you're going to get burned out at some point. It's going to get annoying. You're going to be tired of it. But at the same time, once you get into the rhythm and you understand how everything works and what's going on, it becomes easier. I always used to dread coming back because, it's just tough.
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart. I mean, it's
If
not
you
like, oh, it's a
come
bad school.
here, if you come here, I think you've chose the harder path, and I think you've chosen not to follow the pack, is kind of how I view it. And not following others or following, right, having that herd mentality is hard because you're going
It
to be
is.
over here kind of on your own, like on this island doing something else.
Yep. So like whenever you come here, just focus. Just be like, all right, let me get my schoolwork done. Let me do what I need to do out of class in the barracks. Becoming a leader is definitely something I would suggest. You get perks, but at the same time, it's not just about the perks. It's about inspiring others and also improving yourself as a leader. And there's just nothing wrong about doing good. When people come here, some guys, they're troubled, they don't want to listen. I always tell them, like, when they do good, like whether it's marching, whether it's class or anything, there's nothing wrong about that. You should be happy about that. You should strive to do good every day, no matter what it is.
Wise words from Kendall Coard.
Hey,
Anything else you would like to tell the people?
not that I know of, that's about it.
Do you have a joke today?
A joke. Not a new one, but I know
It's okay. It can be a repeat.
why'd the scarecrow get a promotion? Because he was outstanding in his field.
For those of you who don't know, Kendall Coard always has a joke in his back pocket, and it makes my day every day. All right, Kendall Coard, I'm going to let you go because it's Friday, and I'm sure there are other things you want to do besides just talking to me. So, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.